This is Alex Quin, Hustle Inspires Hustle podcast. Keven Pimentel, Johnatthan Mora, Cris Cas. What's up, y'all?
What's up?
What's going on, bro?
It is.
Hey.
Thanks for having me, man.
It's been a long time coming.
It's been a long time coming. We've been talking about this for a really long time, and now it's here.
We met like 5 to 7 years back.
7 years ago, yeah.
And you were BDC director at a dealership.
Yes, I was a BDC director at H. Greg there.
And now you're a BDC director somewhere else.
Yeah, now I'm the BDC director for Benji Auto Sales.
Okay, what is a BDC director?
So BDC stands for Business Development Center.
Mm-hmm.
And basically what my department does is we take care of all the leads that come in. You know, for any business to run, for you to sell anything, you're going to need leads. You're going to need customers that are interested. And what my department did was basically answer the phone calls, emails, text messages, just anything that we could do to bring the customer in store. That's what my department handled.
So you're the head of sales?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least the first stage of it, which I believe is the most important one.
Yeah, I mean, you're making sure that all this sales team is on point, hitting all the KPIs,
Absolutely.
making sure they're talking to people correctly, that no leads are falling through the cracks.
Absolutely.
You're crunching money through the door.
Yeah. I mean,
well, the sales guys on the floor as well, but like you're doing that initial contact to get people through the door.
to get them here. Yeah, specifically in the car in the automotive industry, which is so like saturated. Everybody's selling cars.
Yeah.
And it's not like it was 10, 20 years ago. Now the customer really has access to.
They could buy it online without even talking to anybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I focused was customer service. As soon as I get in, I got in and I just molded my agents to provide the best customer service possible. Don't treat it like a sales, just treat it like a consultant, you know?
Right.
There's a difference between being a sales professional and a sales consultant. A consultant just listens to you and figures out the problem and then gives you the answer instead of just automatically selling whatever they want to sell.
Right.
But yeah, man, I mean, it was a multi-million-dollar department. I mean, we were bringing, when I started, we were selling 200 cars.
It went all the way up to almost 500, right? No?
I mean, we got in the thousands. We only had one location, and I centralized the department, and we grew it out to 5 locations.
Yeah.
So it was massive. I mean, I ended up having 30 agents, managing 30 agents by the end of my career there at H. Greg.
I remember you were walking to this big office, you got a big ass desk, and everybody was like in front of you, keeping an eye on everybody.
Yeah. And I never used that desk. It was funny. I never used it. I like to be in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way I managed it.
You were right next to the
completely
general
different.
manager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right next to it, yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool, man. I love it. I love the automotive industry. I love the BDC. I think for any business, I'm excited, man. I'm about to tap into life insurance.
Right.
And I think that it's a field that makes a lot of money. It can bring you a ton of money. But I'm listening to my peers. I'm listening to my mentors on it. And I'm automatically seeing areas where
like you could plug in things that you already know.
Oh my God. Yeah, man. That's why I'm excited, because imagine like having a pool of money that you can have access to, and you're seeing all of these people making money that you're like, oh, I can never make that in a month. You know, I'm talking about $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 a month selling life insurance, right? But they're doing it the old way. I don't hear any talk on automations. I don't hear any talk on AI. I don't hear any talk on pulling your own leads. Like, so here I am.
There's always the regulation talk, which is what kind of holds some of those industries back.
Yeah, or just a door that nobody's ever
opened before,
because they're just used to what they used to. So I'm really excited to tap into that, because if I can do what I did with the automotive industry with life insurance, man, I'm gonna have a bright future. Hell yeah.
All right, y'all. So that's Johnatthan Mora. Cris, tell us about your business, bro.
What's up, guys? Well,
by the way, we're all friends. We all know each other. But
Yes.
we're doing this intro for the sake of everybody listening and watching right now.
yeah, of course, man. No, thank you for having me, man.
Of course.
This is very exciting.
Yeah, it is.
It's exciting because where I come from is more from the music industry, right?
Yeah.
And I wish people were doing this more often, because artists need this information. You know, sales, business. It's one thing that they don't teach us when we're teenagers trying to write our first songs, recording ourselves in the bedrooms.
Yeah.
You know, they don't tell us about business. You know, I learned this way later, and I'm like, wow, if I would have applied what I know now back then, forget it. Estuviéramos would be somewhere else.
All right. So you have extensive experience in music. We could talk about a million things, but why don't we focus on what has your heart, which is creating music, not only as an artist, but being able to also be an expert guitarist, you know, and being able to travel the world, being a tech and being able to work with experts in the field.
Yeah, I mean, it all started just playing guitar, you know, just a dream, and I'm like, all right, let's see where this takes me. Fortunately, I met a lot of cool people very young that were, you know, that are now mentors and teachers, and they were doing it big, and I was just a kid, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna learn what they're doing, just watch it, and eventually I'm gonna be placed in that position, and that's exactly how it happened. You know, I was just learning. And then by 19, I got a call from Mark Anthony Productions. They're like, hey, you know, come in and play guitar for the
Mark
tour.
Anthony.
Yeah,
like the Mark Anthony.
Salsa, yeah, the salsa
Yeah, just in
guy.
case
No Marquito, but
Just
the
in
Mark
case you got
Anthony.
that. He said Mark Anthony. Okay.
Yeah, so at 19, I'm like, fuck, man. Oh, sorry, can we curse?
Yeah,
here?
we could curse.
It's like, yo, this is crazy, you know. I was preparing myself for that position for years, you know, because of the guys. They're like, you know, just get ready. They're gonna give you a call anytime, and it happened. And then from there, it just took on a whole new level. Thalia, Prince Royce, a bunch of people. But what I want to go back to is like it all became a business. You know, at very young, it just became a business. It was about selling my brand and myself. And I was just different because I was 19, 20, 21 when all these other guys were already 35, 40s, you know, doing it for I don't know how many years. And now I'm getting the calls. You know, it's
Right.
like, all right, so how do I take a business, you know, how do I make this into a business and stop being a kid, you know? So that was, you know, like I said, I wish I would have known what I know now back then, because
I feel like a lot of people like struggle through that transition, you know, because it's always good to have a dream. It's always good to like, you know, wake up and have that passion for something, but you can't have the same mentality when you're turning it into a business. There's other aspects of things that you got to pay attention to, like your spending. Yeah. And understanding that specifically, like if you don't have a funding, you know, if you have a handout, it's easy, you know, because you don't have to worry about expenses for music videos and expenses for recording, mastering, all of that stuff. But when, like, you know, Chris turned his opportunity into a business, it's different things that you got to think of. And a lot of people struggle making that transition mentally. I think it's a transition that you got to make mentally.
A lot of people, like when they get into business in general, and we're talking entertainment right now, get into entertainment, they crash into a wall because they tend to be dreamers, they tend to be creatives, creators, and then when you actually see that you have to step away from being the creative and actually put on your boss hat, it's a little bit difficult. You have to have rough conversations with people, you got to tell people to off, you got to tell people to respect you, you got to tell people to stick to their contract, many things that will make you step out of your element if you're an introvert in that way, right. Because you express your talents and your skill sets aren't in the art itself,
and you're just so used to getting feedback all the time as opposed to you giving that feedback.
Yeah,
when you're an artist,
oh, your music's great, sounds great,
everything just comes to you. You don't have that scenario where you gotta say this sucks, we need this, we need that. It's just very true what you're saying right now. Yeah, absolutely.
It happens to content creators, photographers, videographers. It happens to singers. It happens to painters. A lot of them have a manager, and they don't even want to worry about some of that stuff. And some of them have a manager and a business manager. Yep, which is different. You know, you start seeing where people's skills are. A lot of artists or creators are the directors of their videos or the curators of their videos, right? Yeah. Maybe not as much on the business side. So I think it's all about being dynamic, and like you guys all very well know, like surrounding yourself with the right people. Everybody will bring a different piece to, right? Because for example, on your side, on the creative side, we talked about BDC, but you're a singer.
Yes.
Well, you're a singer, you're a rapper, you're you do it.
I like to create. Okay. I like to create. I like to I mean, I grew up watching a lot of movies, a lot of, you know, cartoons, and I like to tap in my curiosity. You know, like even when I was a kid, I like to dance, I like to draw, and I've always tapped into it. I never shied away from it. But music has been in my life since I was a baby.
It's so funny because like you're like this sales guy, but you're also a creative, and a lot of the times you don't see the like alpha sales guys be creatives. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's two completely
like
different.
You got this alpha sales guy who will dance on your ass. Like
I'll close you with a dance.
I'll close you with a dance move.
I'll sing the contract to you.
I'll sing the contract to you.
That's so funny. Yeah,
but that's, you know, an important part of building good connections is like kind of like the example of how things played out with like us, right? Yeah. Everybody I met here in this room, like the three of you guys, I met through somebody else. Right. And you nurture those, you nurture those relationships, and you see like what value people bring to the table. Yeah. Like a lot of people don't know because we maybe don't post about it too much, but we all, the four of us, get in the studio all the time.
All the
right?
time.
Yeah.
You're laying it
Always
down in the
creating.
studio, man. Like you're going crazy. Kevin and I are there, just like throwing ideas around, and or just like kind of like being in the mix. And it's about kind of like immersing yourself too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that comes naturally. I think like when we met, it wasn't even forced. It was natural.
Yeah.
Our first conversation, like I already knew you fuck with me. I
Yeah.
I fuck with you, because the more we talked, it was like we found ourselves having the same values,
Yeah.
and the same shit was pissing us off about people. We would talk like, man, I hate like weak-minded people.
Yeah.
People that just find a problem with everything, and then you would just chip in. I still remember that, and I
Yeah.
feel like we're all friends, and it happened like that. When I met Cris, it was the same way. We met in the studio, but after 2 words coming out of his mouth, we were talking like we were brothers,
Yeah.
and it was because I don't know. It was an energy thing, and it just came natural,
Yeah.
and that doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah.
Specifically in a room full of ego, man. Like that just kills everything.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one when the whole ego conversation, because everybody's usually like at a different stage of development in their life.
Right.
You know, they might be older than you, but doesn't mean they're wiser or they're more emotionally intelligent.
Absolutely.
You know,
Or experience.
Yeah.
or experience.
I see
yeah.
it in the dealership all the time. I mean, you got people. I've been doing this for 30 years, and it's like it doesn't matter if you. When was the last time you trained?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if you haven't
Like
trained,
Drake says, you got one hit, do that again.
exactly. yeah. And it's not how you do it; it's how well you do it. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter if you did it first. Is how well are you doing it now? Because there's always gonna be someone that's gonna up you,
Yeah.
and you gotta be okay with that. There's always gonna be someone that's gonna have an advantage on you. But if you close your mind, you're never gonna learn, and you're never gonna excel that next.
You got to
step.
keep being a student.
You gotta keep being a student, man.
Yeah.
You gotta
Always.
be consistent.
Yeah.
You study a lot too, though, right? Like for your stuff, you're an artist, and
Yeah.
you also have the business, like the business side of music. So you're an artist yourself, but you tour, right?
Yeah, so I tour a lot, but then I also have my studio, and I started my studio back in New York, in Jersey,
Okay.
and that was all out of necessity. You know, that was I saw it like when I told you that I started very young. Then I saw that I became a musical director, and I was sending invoices to the artists for different studios, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute, so we're spending thousands of dollars in a studio that we're going just for like 2 days, 3 days. So then
There it is.
thoughts, right? Thoughts started to happen, and then I'm doing guitar recordings, right? People are calling me for that stuff, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm already doing it from home, and I'm recording stuff out for people. So that was another idea. I'm like, okay, studio. The idea came in, and then from there on, producing and then just developing the artists became a thing from my studio, right? And I was
Right.
able to produce for artists, and like the same thing, necessity became like, all right, the photos, and now the music videos, unplugged.
Styling, all that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
all that started happening from my studio. So now I wasn't sending out invoices like, hey, we're going to spend all this money here and there and over there.
You
No.
paying me, bitch.
Yeah.
Now everything comes
I
here.
gotta write myself an invoice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
And then I, detail
Yeah.
everything nice in. I gave you a discount here, discount there, and next thing you know, I'm the one making all the money. You know,
There
so
you go.
that was the business side of things, and I'm like, dude, I could do this for the rest of my life. You
Yeah.
know? Like I don't need to tour or like, as long as like my studio is active and people are coming, bro, it's gonna stay open always.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah,
They
he's
always
like
need
Kevin
that.
Feige.
Yeah.
Kevin Feige did the same thing with Marvel. Marvel used to pay all of these studios. They were in bankruptcy. They had to like sell their characters' rights to like movie production companies
Yeah. Damn.
so they can stay alive. And then Kevin Feige one day said, "Wait a minute, why are we?" After they did Blade, and Blade was a massive success. I don't know if
Yeah.
you've ever seen Blade.
Yeah, that was early 2000s, right?
Crazy
No?
good.
Yeah, it was
Crazy good.
massive.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But Marvel took a very small pay cut out of whatever came out of that movie because they owed the production company, the special effects people. They were outsourcing everything.
Yeah.
And Kevin Feige said, "Fuck that. We're gonna build our own studio."
Yeah.
And that's when Iron Man came out. And it was their first movie that they funded themselves. They did themselves. They built themselves. And look at them. You can't fuck with Marvel, bro.
No.
You release a movie when Marvel's releasing a movie, you might as well call that bankruptcy. You're not gonna sell any tickets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True, yeah.
They have a dynasty now, and they're not going anywhere now. They just did the same exact thing.
You're big on movies, but you're,
I love
you're
movies.
Kevin, you're big on movies, shows, screenplays,
Oh, yeah, no,
scripts,
deep in it.
right? Do they know about that? Like, Do you ever talk about a little bit like creative side of
maybe
that?
Chris from during
side.
Christmas in the cabin. I was like talking about some of the things I've been writing and everything.
Yeah, we spent Christmas together in a cabin somewhere up in North Carolina.
Yeah,
nice.
Fun.
Yeah,
there was no signal.
FYI, by the way.
How convenient.
Nah, but it ended up being really great though. No, I mean, so my past is kind of salt and peppered with these experiences creatively. So yes, deep into movies and screenwriting and all that kind of stuff I love doing. So I do have a few scripts and things that I've written in the past. I've written like a couple short films. They were registered and everything. They're kind of things I want to produce one day. Really just for passion.
They're adult films.
Not at all. Yeah. No, come on. It's soft porn. Relax.
Yeah.
I'm joking. No, it's obviously not. No. They're like real ones. Yeah. A little bit of drama. There's a new fantasy one that I'm working on, and this is a really, really big one that actually was really inspired by during my trip to Egypt. So I'm kind of doing my own.
This is recent because
This
this
is
is
recent. Oh yeah, exactly. Since
Oh,
October.
I'm
Yeah.
excited.
I started writing this. I swear to you, I started writing this
on the plane.
No, on the top of a Nile cruise while
Pyramid.
cruising on the Nile River,
Top of the
looking
pyramid.
next to me like I feel like I'm in a movie right now, and I'm just like, and I start going away. But yeah, so like creatively, yeah, like writing stuff like that. Music was a little bit when I was younger, so I was an artist when I was in high school.
Okay.
I was come up, performed. I did some shows and whatever. I was in and out of a bunch of studios. I went to the Art Institute of Atlanta for audio production and engineering for a little bit, and then realized I'm not meant to be an engineer, and that's a very particular role and someone who really needs to understand and care about that aspect of the process. So I got a lot of experience there, met a lot of great people. But after that point, I went straight deep into business. Fast forward, and even throughout this process of doing marketing and creative projects, I also worked with a couple other artists. So one artist was a painter, a fine artist, and the other one was a music artist, Eric Charles, independent artist, helped him kind of get his whole world wrapped up. And through those processes, actually worked and learned from the grassroots level what it takes to actually be able to get someone either positioned or at least on a business administrative side wrapped so that they're independent, they're secure, they're protected, they own the rights to everything in their masters, they know all the resources they need to be able to get something out there. I created like a whole package thing.
Again, the business side he was saying people don't have usually when they're getting into the field.
Correct.
Like a guideline.
Yeah, exactly.
The blueprint.
And the blueprint in that sense was actually literally even with the link. So here's where you're going to register your music here with copyright.gov. You're going to get your publishing here with ASCAP. You're going to submit your music for streaming through either of these platforms, TuneCore, United Masters, etc. Like we went through the list and really established like the foundation of what it takes for an artist to at least come out. So if the artist is able to bring the creative side, and they can merge that just foundational business side. You don't need to be an expert. You don't need to be an accountant. You don't need to be a lawyer. But you got to at least know how to read the first paragraph. Like you understand enough of what you're looking at so that you can get a clear view that when someone approaches you, you're not like, you seem like you're cool because you're wearing a suit. No, it's like,
and
this is cool.
Everybody gets like that.
That's what I'm saying.
With a suit on?
Yeah.
People get
taken from a victim.
But that's what I'm saying. So it's one of those things where it was a cool way to learn the two sides of the spectrum. I love the creative side. I am not meant to be on a stage. That's one thing. I enjoy the process. I enjoy making music. I enjoy like even writing music at times, depending on like the circumstance and the music. But ultimately, I am a customer. I am a fan. I enjoy the process and being from this point of view, helping where I can and give guidance where possible. But like, I love to witness these things happen, and to be part of that, because production of music, and I don't mean just producing in the studio. I mean production, the whole turnkey. From
executive production.
Physically to creatively to ideas.
From a guitar to like a whole production, from an idea
to press to marketing to everything.
That whole thing, I love the in and outs of how things work. So to witness that, when you see on stage, you're seeing the person perform on stage and the arena's full and everyone's looking around and it's amazing and everyone's like, oh my God, I'm crying because the emotions and energy, what it took to do that, and the guys that are sweating their asses off behind stage, running back and forth to make sure that the light system is going here and that the mic and the headphone piece is actually still playing music because he can't hear it in his ear, but now he doesn't know if the beat's on. You feel it's a process.
You got a cool story for us?
Man.
You got a cool backstage story for us?
I was going to say Chris for sure.
Yeah, come on, Chris.
It's been many years of touring, so I got many stories. I slammed the door at Pitbull once in his face because I didn't know he was in the other side.
He was like, Dale.
He's like, hey, he's going to be the guest artist tonight with Mark. And then I just come into the room. I'm just like, let me open the door.
You ain't shit, Pitbull.
I knew I hit someone in the other side, so I immediately turned around. I'm like, I'm so sorry, Pitbull.
Mr. 305.
Like, well, I know you're the guest tonight. I'm so sorry. He's like, oh, sorry. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, so many stories. But yeah, bro, going back to what you're saying, it's a lot. It's a lot. It takes a lot for artists to get any project off the ground. And as independent they don't tell you, there's no information.
Right.
And
on purpose.
It's not on purpose. I
mean,
like
the big players in the game make sure that it's
that
not
you don't know.
that you don't know more than you need to, so you fall within within line.
I mean, I feel like there needs to be more information, just more information. But it is the time for that. Technology gives you all that.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah. So
I feel like in this, I'm sorry. I feel like in this day and age, for somebody to say I don't know, I think it's complete bullshit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know how to shut the fuck up.
You don't know how to get the fuck up. That's what you don't know how to do.
Yeah.
Get to work.
Go on Google.com and look it up.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
now
Do you prefer
ChatGPT,
Do you prefer Google, like when you're curious about something? What's your Google? Is it the actual Google where you read, or is it YouTube?
It's YouTube, and then
me,
a
it's
little bit
YouTube.
of reading, and then I go to ChatGPT to like cut icing on the cake,
ChatGPT.
and then I draw my conclusions. I look at tweets too, Reddit chats, different things like that.
No, for me it's YouTube. I YouTube anything.
Yeah,
Anything, and as long as I can see it on video,
you're a visual learner.
I'm a visual learner.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I can't read for shit.
The auditory learners are the ones that really get me. Like they just hear shit and they remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's nuts.
No.
Michelle like that. Michelle is like that.
Oh,
Michelle from
wow.
UADV. She's been on the podcast. You guys know Michelle.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
an auditory learner. Some
Really?
people are kinesthetic, which just means they learn by doing, touching, like getting their hands dirty.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Yeah, I'm
sure.
hands on too.
You're probably a good kinesthetic learner because you're a guitar player.
yeah, I mean, in the studio, it was just you're in a room. Like, what do we do now? It's like you got to create anything from just whatever. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you got a camera. What do we do? Well, lights
plug
looking
it
this
in.
way. Just stand this way. Let's see what happens. So I think it's just by doing for me.
By the way, I know you have the business side locked in, but your music videos have been looking really dope lately, bro.
They're sick.
Thanks.
for sure.
Yeah, what's up with all that? Like,
All that is part of what I've been talking about. It was like when we started, we didn't have a budget to film like dope ass videos. They would tell you it's like $4,000 or $5,000, and it's like when you're a kid.
and that's on the lower end too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
super
Yeah.
cheap, right? So now that that I release my own music, that's everywhere. You can check it out, CrisCasmusic.com.
Shameless plug.
Cool.
Boom. Pero yeah, dude. So when I wanted to release my project as a singer songwriter artist, I was like, I'm gonna invest money because that's the only way to get quality and for people to really dig it, and get into it. So I was like, all right, let me get the best directors that I know. I paid some money, and yeah, they came out dope, And we got Jasenia, who's a dear friend, actress, influencer. So it's good stuff, good quality,
Yeah, the videos have been looking really good. Let's talk about marketing entertainment. Let's talk about marketing music.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do it.
What do you consider are like a handful of key factors that it takes for somebody to become successful in music, from your experience as an artist and from your experience as a professional in the industry who has seen other artists rise?
Definitely hard work and focus, right? I've seen that there's a lot of artists that release just to release, put out music and videos just to put it out and get some views, but then there's no sustainability, right? Consistency after you release something. It's like a product, you put it on the stands out, and it's like, well, you only put it at 7-Eleven for the weekend, and then you only sold 10 products, but
Yeah.
so you got to sustain it, and it's like, well, you got to leave it at the store
The
for
pipeline has to be full.
for 6 months for it to sell and show something. So for me, it's been like just sustaining a product once you release it, and that's the key for me.
Okay. So consistency in dropping music, not only dropping music consistently, but dropping the right amount of music, and not.
Yeah.
Also, some people get carried away with other things before they really fully build out their fan base, so people don't know what to really know
True.
them for.
Well, the thing with the product is, in a song, is that you can have so many different versions of it, and you can still market the same song, right? Videos, acoustics, remixes, stuff that like you can still sustain the same song for 2-3 months,
Yeah.
So you don't have to be dropping like all the artists that they drop once a month. They have those budgets, for
Oh, and they got the fan base that are
Yeah.
gonna wait.
so
Yeah.
you gotta get people to dig you for that one song. You can't drop 10 on them and then like wait for for one to hit. No, you gotta just have one.
Let it grow on.
Yeah, exactly. So just spend your time on it. A couple months to really market a product.
So I'm glad you're saying that, because you're saying, okay, an artist could drop their song, but they could do a remix, they could do a acoustic cover, they could do a tiny desk type thing, a lyric video. This will allow you to market in other ways, which I believe all of these do count towards Billboard streams, like lyric videos and all that.
Yeah,
right?
Totally.
And then that paired with, of course, press, public relations, which you just did an international tour.
Yeah, well, I did my promo. Right? Yeah, I do a lot of promo and press, especially press when I release my songs. I want to get them to all the TV outlets, radio outlets, magazines. What the people are consuming, right? So I go straight to where it has to get distributed for them to see it. I don't wait for my product to be seen. If not, I'm not gonna make any.
You go and show it.
Yeah, I go out and I show them, like, all right, here's my music, here's my videos, here's me live, and
here's you on a podcast talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
getting you gotta sell. Yeah, you gotta get people to check it out. You gotta go to people. They're home. They're on their screens. It's like, how do I get to you?
Yeah.
So specifically in the music industry. There's a song being dropped every minute of the day.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So like you said, if you're dropping music, it's kind of like a baby on stage. A baby on stage is gonna be very, very shy at first, right? And if I'm the only one clapping, it's still gonna be shy. But if you start clapping and he starts clapping and he starts clapping, eventually the baby's gonna start moving because it's feel comfortable.
Feeling that vibe.
You gotta feed the songs are your babies, and you gotta feed the baby with some recognition. So that's why a lot of artists, like for me, I appreciate every repost, every comment, every like, because that's ammo that I can use to show other people that don't know me.
And yourself.
Yeah, like, hey, I'm not full of myself. I'm not the only one liking these records. There are thousands of streams on this record. It's for a reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, all of these things can be manipulated so easily now that I feel like it's the shows that's going to really captivate the people. You can...
like the live performances, you mean?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Like, these people are going to come out and spend money to go see you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I could say I got 50 million streams on Spotify.
But fill up a stadium.
Exactly. If I go to Dirty Rabbit, I can't even fill Dirty Rabbit up. You ain't got no real fans.
Shout out to the Dirty Rabbit family, by the way.
Shout out to Dirty Rabbit. Yeah. El Conejo Sucio.
Let me connect something that you said before about old school. Okay, like, I still feel like the music is still very small industry, still very old school.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, exactly connecting what you just said. But it's like you gotta build it, bro. It's like word of mouth still, like labels, like and A&Rs and label managers, like they're still checking out people the old school way, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, like we keep talking, technology changed the game for everything, and yeah, you can have 100 million streams on anything, but you can't fill a bar. But at the same time, it's like I know I got a good reputation because I've been working for over 10 years in the industry.
And you know that if you say I'm gonna perform here, because of the reputation you got, like there's gonna be some heads coming in.
Yeah, and
for
like
sure.
important people, not just like the 100 million people that check me out on TikTok,
the Dandy Bear manager.
They only checked out the song for 10 seconds, they used it, and that's it. But I'd rather have that reputation in the old school way of doing my marketing, telling a lot of people about my product, and just using technology as a tool.
Yeah.
I wanted to make a comment on this actually because it's something I learned recently from specifically a marketer for music, and it was actually online that they were talking about this as a strategy for artists.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to social media, a big thing is artists will constantly want to put out their own music, right? And they want to put it out there. But the thing is until people are already looking for you, already aware of it or whatever, it can be difficult to get it to go out, right?
Right.
So you need to do that. But in the mix of it too, you need to be able to engage with your audience in a way where you allow them to now be able to be part of the curation of your content. So, for example,
how it's
when
made.
you talk to the people who are watching you, if you got 5 people who happen to watch all your set and they comment whatever, and you say, you know what's a song that you think I should sing or something you think that would be good in my voice? Oh, I love this song. I wish you could do this song by whoever. It's a cover. Who cares? It doesn't matter. But what happens is, first off, you engage with someone, or a fan. You create that engagement. What happens? That fan, for sure, without a fact, they're going to send it to someone and want to share more.
Because they feel like they took part of that creation.
Correct. And if they tell you to do something that is known and you kill it, right, then all of a sudden that starts making rounds. Because look at this guy who did this cover, but it just immediately gains you this organic
I
exposure,
agree, 100%.
and it's doing it directly with your fan or your following group, which means then they're going to be more engaged with you because, like, holy crap, we engage with him, he engages back, and we're getting this call and repeat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And-
like connection for conversion kind of thing.
Yes,
You know?
Russ mastered this. If you guys want to see it, Russ as the artist, the rapper,
Yeah.
boy, I mean, putting aside the business stuff, he's found the formula of how to master social media and music by
He's so
using
good
his
at it.
audience to allow
Yeah.
him to, hey, what do you think I should do next? Oh, what do you guys think of this line?
Yep.
What do you think I should add on to here? Oh, what do you think I should say here?
He
Give me your
talks
best
to,
line.
He talks to them, not at them.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
going to do half this song and I'm going to leave the other beat here for you guys to finish it. Like everything he can to let them be part of the
Yeah.
experience with him is what creates all the difference. And when you can do that from a small micro level, if you got 10 people constantly giving you money every month, that was better than nothing from
Yep.
1,000 people or 1,000,000 people.
Yep.
And then that starts to grow because now your audience feels the value here. You're like, wow, it's not just a guy who's singing, it's someone who's actually like
It's like
he's
it's
alive.
reproduction. It'll grow.
Yeah.
It'll grow because at the end of the day, people just want to feel important.
Yeah.
If you make people feel important, they will follow you. It don't matter if you're
Yes.
leading them to the end of a cliff, they'll still
Funny.
follow you because you're making them feel important.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Interesting.
And when
Valued, important, heard.
yeah.
yeah,
Understood.
and when you're doing that, whether it's in the music industry, like that's helped me out a lot in the sales aspect of it.
Yeah.
You know, I do massive text blast, and every time the Miami Heat win, I give discounts to all the customers. You know, thanks Jimmy Butler. Now you're a winner too, and people,
That's nice.
you know what I mean. So now people are gonna relate to that, and
That's creative as
Yeah,
hell. Look at this
good
man
stuff.
flipping cards using the
Yeah,
NBA.
yeah, man.
About to take some notes,
Take
bro.
notes, guys. Take notes. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's
But
good though.
At the end of the day, bro, people just want to feel important. And I had a moment like that. I went to the barber shop this morning. Shout out to my barber, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I noticed. Looking fly, bro.
Thanks, bro. I went to the barber shop this morning, and the guy that's sweeping the floor, just because he went to Puerto Rico and saw Daddy Yankee's house, he felt important. He felt more important than the people at the barber shop, just by having that experience.
What?
And it clicked on me. I'm like, bro, you know how many people, you know how many people are going to be motivated to start something just because they stood next to Bad Bunny and Bad Bunny didn't even recognize them? You know, people will go home after sitting down next to Bad Bunny or next to Derek Jeter.
Because all it takes is to feel the energy.
All it takes is that moment of feeling important to take a signal to your brain and say, I got to start doing something.
It happened to me. I was a chauffeur for.
I'm glad I was able to put that impact on you.
Yeah. There's an advertiser. I talk about him a lot on this podcast. His name is Jordan Zimmerman.
Okay.
He owns a multi-billion-dollar advertising company based out of Fort Lauderdale.
Nice.
And I used to be his chauffeur. And one day he invited me up to his office and he showed me this massive, it's like a 10-story building, glass building. Crazy. He's one of the biggest employers in all of Broward County. And he just, like, there's this wall, right? Like, in his building where it shows a timeline of when he started and where he's at. And he looked at all that, and that shit f***ed my head up, dude. I literally went home at that time and I told my parents, I'm like, I'm going to start a marketing agency.
That's all it takes,
And
bro.
that's it. And I'm still doing that now. I'm a marketer.
Yeah,
Look at that.
that's crazy.
So-
And you got to feed it, bro, because like I feel like motivational speakers are rich because motivation only lasts you 2 weeks. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you
it's
only
like a
going to go
drug.
2 weeks before your brain takes you back to your old stupid ass habits. You know what I'm saying?
Less than that shit.
Yeah, no,
like
and
3 days.
man, I'm telling you, if I can give an advice to anybody listening to this, if you want to, you're one decision away from changing the course of your life. One decision away, right? And unless you start working on your habits, like, what the fuck am I doing when I get up? What's my first thought? You got to force yourself. And it's painful, and it's a lonely-ass road. I'm going to tell you, it's a lonely road because you're going to find yourself being around people that don't see you that way. And all of a sudden, you're the bad guy. All of a sudden, you're the guy that thinks too high of himself. And it's like,
You changed.
yeah, and it's like, no.
Of course I changed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, bro. And it's a lonely road, but it's worth it. Because at the end of the line, like, bro, I'm 33 and I have friends that I grew up with. And sometimes I hear them talk and they still sound like they're
Like they're
back
still in high school.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, what the fuck is going on with you, bro?
Yeah.
Do you not have any responsibilities? Like, you just winging it? What the fuck?
Yeah.
You know, so you got to stay motivated. You got to stay consistent. And again, bro, it's all in your habits. If you don't sit down and write down and call yourself out, you got to call yourself out.
Yeah. Writing
But-
is a huge part of figuring yourself out. Just writing.
Yeah, bro.
This week I was writing. I I made a few mistakes recently, professionally and personally, that really like were like digging a hole in my head. You get what I'm saying? Like I couldn't let it go. It's always on my mind. And I was like, you know what? Why am I giving it so much power? I'm just going to finally put it on paper, and I'm gonna write down and I took this from Drake. I'm a huge Drake fan. You guys probably already know this.
Yeah.
In the song,
You know.
Drake goes, I took notes of the mistakes I'll never make again.
Nice.
I think it's in Two Birds, One
That's
Stone, or
Yeah.
one of the songs.
That's deep.
And I literally was listening to that song because sometimes I listen to Drake to get my fucking right. And he said that, and I'm like, yes. I wrote a list of all the mistakes that I've made that cost me the most money, the most pain, the most whatever, like that took from me, whatever it was that it took from me. And I highlighted those. And then right next to those is my goals. This is what I'm not going to do ever again, and this is what I'm going to aim for. So it's very important to write these things down.
Absolutely.
It is. Yeah.
Right?
Strategy, man.
You gotta call yourself out, man. You know, I was talking to my wife the other day about this. Like, you gotta learn how to use the negative emotions. I feel like we're so used to sweeping under the rug and forgetting the negative emotion. You know, they teach us to forgive and forget, and you know, just stay positive all the time. But I feel like the negative emotions are necessary, bro. They're necessary for your growth. Because me personally, like, I have a kind of personality that I have a chip on my shoulder. Nothing was given to me. Not a goddamn thing, you know? I've been homeless. I've slept in my car. I've had to make a loaf of bread last me a whole week because I didn't have any money to eat. So that moment of anger, that feeling of, like, desperation is what makes me say, I will never be here again.
Yeah.
That. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like
all the way.
Yeah, and like my wife, you know, she's always like, "Hey, babe, you know, learn how to slow down. You know, enjoy life sometimes."
My
But
family tells me the same thing. It's like, nah, you don't get it, bro.
it's a man thing. It's a man thing. Like I don't
I'm
know.
gonna give you
bro.
everything, girl.
I'm trying to run at 1,000 miles an hour all the time, and it gets to a point where I can't sit for more than an hour not doing anything, because my thoughts are just constantly.
You don't want to go back
me.
to that place.
I will never go back to that place.
Kevin talks to me about that all the time. He's like, dude, you've done all this crap. You have this. You have this. I'm like, I know, man, but you know what?
It's never enough.
No, what if it changes?
Just one more, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but you have to have that balance also for people to tell you to chill. Because then if not, you're a crazy fuck all the time, running around thinking everything's up.
Absolutely.
Or that you're not enough. You know what I mean? You have to have that.
My brother Felmax, he recently got a really good placement with NLE Chopper's album. And right now, NLE Chopper's top 10 in iTunes.
Yeah.
You know, and he calls me the other day before his placement. He was asking me for an opinion on a song, and I gave him my opinion. And in a sense, like, he kind of like popped off, you know? He didn't like my opinion. So I was like, dude, why are you asking for my opinion? You know? But
maybe you want just validation, not an opinion.
Maybe. But here's where I see growth in my little brother. Because he calls me the other day after the placement, and he's like, hey, man, like, how do you balance? Because right now, I feel like saying fuck you to everybody. I got my placement. You.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know? And it's like, okay, that's good. It's good to feel that. But you got to learn how to turn that down a notch, because what's good in being successful, you don't have anybody to celebrate with. What's the point in reaching your goals, and when you look next to you, all you got is people that hate you because you're an asshole.
Yeah.
And you don't know how to react to your success.
Yeah. I struggle with that a lot.
Yeah.
Not being an asshole to people who are I'm like, everybody's not the same. I'm just going to breathe.
Yeah, but you got to learn how to, it's a balance, bro, because you don't want to be that. What is it that Mike Tyson said on that podcast? I've met a lot of great men, but none of those great men were good men. I don't want to be a great man. I want to be a good man.
Yes, sir.
I don't want to fuck someone to be at the top and people call me great. I don't want to cheat my way to the top and people are like, oh, look at this great man.
You don't want to tear people's buildings down. Yeah.
I want to be a good man, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like, nobody's going to tell. When I'm long gone, nobody's going to say this guy was a bad father. This guy was a bad husband. This guy was a bad friend. Because I'm doing what's necessary to keep the people around me that I know I need to keep around me. But at the same time, bro, you got to stay hungry, bro. I'm trying to become a millionaire out here, bro.
Yeah.
You know.
One, just to jump on that, I think there's one note that I learned. I think I mentioned this even at another episode about I watched a video where it was like all these top actors like Robert De Niro and Tom Hanks and
The table, the actor table,
right? Yeah, they were talking.
This too
and
shall pass. Is
yeah,
that what you guys say?
I think so actually, but in the both ways. So even on the successes and the failures. So
Yes.
to always maintain that level of cool.
Yes.
That whole thing of where
Don't get too excited on a success. Don't get too down on a failure.
correct.
Yes.
It's that stoic way of being. It's where you understand that this is but just another moment.
Yep.
And like for example, for your buddy who got on the song, this is an amazing opportunity. And for him in that moment, that's everything that ever was, and that's the greatest thing. And he literally just shot up to the ceiling in the sky.
Right.
What he doesn't realize is
It just got harder.
Get ready. So this is that part of the game now. Welcome to the
Right.
game. Now that you got in and you just got your first dose,
There's more.
get
to
ready
go.
because now is the moment where you're gonna have to really put everything you think that you know up to the test.
Yep.
Because now it becomes okay. Now where do we go from here? Because that goes, you get that highlight, and then it's like okay, now what? And this
Yep.
is expectations from the outside. This is executives who are in a part of a label looking down at you. This is people who are in your team. This is you yourself analyzing
Yeah.
yourself. Now, like, okay, so now what? You know, like, did I do it? And that's it. So it's definitely be cool. Take it in stride. Also understand, too, like, you need your people to celebrate with you. So keep that close circle of people who are
Of
going to look at
course.
you and
Yeah.
say, you did a great job, or listen, I'm really concerned about you. And you need that. You know what I'm saying?
You
Because
absolutely do.
to what Alex was saying too, I mean, we're friends, we're homies, we're in a very similar world. So there's moments where I'm in the hole and he helps me up, and vice versa.
Or he
But
calls
that's-
me out. We call
have
each other out.
Have
We
to.
call each other out.
Have
Absolutely.
We do.
Yeah.
But you need well, it's good for we're talking about men right now because there's no girls in the podcast.
Right.
But what men need a solid circle of other responsible, good men,
Asshole friends.
like
to. No.
money makers,
Balance.
good people that give back, that are respectable people to also keep you in check. Like I have people that are like, "What the are you doing?
Yep.
Why are you
You've done
thinking like that?
You-
Why are you
you've texted me that?
Why are you talking like that? Like
Yeah.
why are you selling yourself short? The hell is wrong with you?
Why are you acting like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. You need that.
Yeah.
You need, and people don't like that. People don't like to be criticized. People don't like to have somebody that you're close with say, "Bro, you're acting like an idiot.
You're
right
clowning
now.
right now.
Yeah, what are you doing?" And a lot of friendships are lost that way.
Yeah.
I've lost a lot of friends like that because
Yeah.
I can't stand that shit, bro. Don't come next to me and gossip, bro. Get the away from me. I don't want to know about the fucking Kardashian. I don't give a about that, bro.
Yeah.
Talk to me about how we're gonna make some money together.
Yeah.
Don't call me to party. Don't call me to celebrate. Don't call me for any of that shit, bro. I got a family, bro. I got 2 kids. I got one on the way. You really think I got time to be at the VIP right now?
Yeah.
I ain't got no time for that. But you're in an accident. You need some help. Call me. That's
Yeah.
the kind of friendship that I feel like everybody should have.
Yeah, well, a lot of people make friends that will only be their friend for the VIP. Why?
Convenient
To get
friends.
fucked up, or to
Yeah,
have
yeah.
them help with the bill, or to have them pay the bill for maybe
Yeah.
all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
gotta
saying?
You gotta have a radar for that shit, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to, because there's a lot of them out there. You know what I mean? There's a lot of them out there. Same way, there's a lot of genuine people out there.
There's
I've
a
met
lot of great people out there that want to
A lot
help.
of genuine people, bro, that want
Yeah.
to help. You know that want what's best for you.
I mean, you guys help me so much with so many things, and vice versa.
Yeah,
like
bro.
that's why we're here. Like, you know, like we all hold each other to a super high regard. Like we stay in touch on a weekly basis, right? Like you send me your shit, I send you my shit. Yo, what do you think about this? We get hyped for each other. Like
yeah,
people need that. You know, somebody that'll be happy for your win. Yo, Chris, Alex, I just released the song. Yo, Chris, good. Yo, I'm about to go perform. Yo, let's show up.
Yeah,
like
bro.
when you guys perform at places, like we're all there. You know what I mean? That's the type of community that you need. That's why we invented this podcast. Hustle inspires
I
hustle.
love it.
Because when you surround yourself with people who hustle and do good shit, you're inspired. And you want to do it
I
yourself.
I tell you what, next time we all get together and do a podcast, it's a must to have Hustle Inspire Hustle merchandise. Whether it's a
Rock.
hoodie,
Yeah.
whether it's a hat. I'm gonna
bringing
get
it.
myself the hoodie and the hat because that shit's fresh, boy. You gotta teach me how to do that, man. I wanna put out
Merch.
Yeah, I thought of an idea of some merchandise, and
Is that the one that you talked about on the interview you did on Fame Magazine?
yeah,
The one with the front and the back?
yeah, bro, some
Yeah.
affirmations, bro.
Yeah,
you know, you can do
affirmations.
it. I could do it too. You're beautiful, so am I.
Yeah.
You know, excuse me. People need that, bro. People need to be affirmed. You're one motivational talk away. You know how many people just need like, hey, Kevin, bro, whatever it is that you want to do, bro, just do it, bro.
Yeah.
Stop overthinking it.
Yeah.
That will light a fire in someone, bro.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people do that, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and we need to, as a society, I feel like we need to push each other. And us, man, bro, you know, all of these things, I don't want to get political, obviously. Not this isn't the podcast for that. But, you know, if you look at the way society is breeding man, bro, it's like they want to take the masculinity out of us.
They already took it out.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so then I can't talk about it. They want to take the masculinity out of us, and it's like, bro, we are the future, bro. We're the builders, bro. You know what I'm saying? If the next generation of men is gonna be acting more like women, what happens to the one after? We're just gonna have a bunch of crybabies all the time.
We need to teach people to be emotionally intelligent. We need to teach people to be emotionally intelligent, whatever they decide to be, and to allow people to do their own thing without imposing on people. I think that's the most important thing. Let people live their truth. I'm a masculine man, and I work out, and I drive a Ferrari, and maybe I drive around with 50 chicks. Mm-hmm. Good job, bro. Hey, I'm a family man. I take care of my family.
Good job.
Good job, bro. Hey, I want to put a skirt on. Good job, bro.
Good job, but don't come near my kid and tell my kid to put a skirt on because I'll choke you to death. I'm just make very, very clear, bro.
Jay's a Florida man.
I'm a Florida man, bro.
I'm a Florida boy.
They call me the Santos Jr., bro.
Oh my god.
No, hell yeah, bro. No, we gotta protect the kids, man. I feel like this country right now, it's there's something going on with these kids disappearing and all this trafficking and stuff like that, and like nobody wants to talk about it. And we need to. I feel like as a country, we gotta address it, man, because it's getting uglier and uglier, and kids are getting exposed easier to these things that they shouldn't be seeing, man. You know, and
I was gonna say, so with that though, and just for the sake of just making sure we are tying into the conversation too, the key thing to learn from this and to grasp from what you're saying, which I have to agree with you, there's definitely been a change in the winds here. We do live in strange times.
Yeah.
This means more so you need to surround yourself with strong people.
Yeah.
Strong is the key word here because there's
with character.
Correct, because that saying goes, hard times create strong people, right? Strong people create good times create soft people create
weak times.
Bad times. Yeah.
We're on the latter part of that.
Exactly. And so we're at that point where, you know, it's going to get really tough because what we don't realize is the social justice that everyone's fighting for because of a lot of insecurities and issues a lot of people have not dealt with and now have found different ways of dealing with it, which is instead of dealing with it within themselves and finding ways to be able to heal their whatever issue they're going through, it's now just projecting, putting it out, saying, well, if I can't, then you can't, and that's mean, so therefore it shouldn't be said, and we've lost the line between what is truly something that's being done in a violent and negative manner that needs to be treated and cared for, like the KKK walking out trying to hurt someone. That's a terrible thing. Someone speaking their opinion on something, not exactly that big of a deal unless it's something that, you know, is inciting someone to do something against someone.
You can't have opinions anymore, though.
So point is,
unless they're like what's allowed.
Yeah.
Right. So you need this. You need people who are going to help you have a good example, lead a better life, and know that no matter what, you know, the world can be whatever it is, but as long as you know that your circle, your community, and the people you have that are thriving with, everyone's going to keep together, you know, keep the ship together.
Absolutely.
It all goes back to marketing. That's what they're selling.
That's true.
It's all a marketing. It's a marketing campaign.
That's
everything. Life is a marketing campaign.
Tucker, what do you think is his next? I think he's the next.
Well,
Joe Rogan,
you saw Patrick Bet-David offered him $100 million for a 5-year contract for a value payment.
No, I think he should.
$100 million.
$100 million. Yeah.
He should just make his own podcast. I guarantee you, if that man makes a podcast, he will surpass.
The thing is, I believe he has a contract to live out for Fox. I'm not an expert in the matter, but I believe that he has a contract which Fox has to pay him. But while Fox is paying him, I believe he can't compete or whatever the case may be.
So a certain amount of time until.
Yeah, obviously, there's people that are going to be offering him a big amount of money. Some people want him to run for office. Everybody.
Oh, I'll be crazy.
Yeah, a lot of people.
I think it's too early for that.
Crazy.
I think he's a great person. I think he's a good person to help support whoever it is. Like, he can be an asset. I don't think he should be the political person, though. You know what I mean?
They might vice president him. You never know. I mean, Trump became president.
Vice president.
That's true.
For Tucker.
I mean, Trump was a freaking like rock star, and then he became president of the United States. Anybody could become president.
That's true. Kanye West ran for presidency.
Right. Yeah, literally. He was written in.
Well, I think everything we're talking about
Chris,
here.
You gonna run for president?
One day.
One
day.
President of a label.
Yeah, there you go.
It's not a bad idea.
Hey, y'all, this has been incredible. Thank you guys for coming. I know this is not the last time.
No.
Next time we're in a Hustle Inspires Hustle March. And next time we could hear one of you guys' tracks live on the podcast.
I'll be down.
We could patch in some music. You could bring in maybe your laptop and we could
live performance.
Yeah,
we
maybe
could
something.
we could do a little.
Maybe
little
something funky that we've never done before.
Low acoustic, low acoustic session.
But in the meantime,
should try
guys, everything we've talked about here on the podcast, we're linking to the show notes.
For sure.
From the BDC department, marketing, car sales. We'll link Eura.
Yeah, put the link
Eura
of
Auto
the
Sales,
website.
is it called? What is
Yeah,
it?
it's called Benji Auto Sales.
Benji Auto
yeah,
Sales.
Anybody looking for a used car, man, my establishment, the establishment that I work for, we have over, 500 vehicles, pre-owned, high-quality vehicles. We give you Carfaxes. I got over 30 banks, so, like, it doesn't matter if you have new credit, bad credit. Like, it really does not matter. As long as you have a job and you can prove to these banks that you can afford this loan, that's all we really need to get you driving. So if you're in a position where you need a car, make sure you visit benjiautosales.com. You can ask for me. My name is Jay, Johnatthan. You can ask for Jay. And I'll be more than happy to help you out. And if anybody needs sales training, I love to train people, man. I've trained over 100 agents in my career. I've literally built people's careers on just a few, tweaks that I see. So if
Polish them up, yeah.
Yeah, man. I love training. So if you need sales training, word scripts, whatever it is, my door is always open. And thanks so much for having me, man.
Hey, that's a great opportunity, guys. There's a lot of you guys listening here that are
Yeah.
in sales. Maybe you could reach out to Jay for some tips.
For sure.
He's active on LinkedIn, so make sure you guys look for him on LinkedIn. Johnatthan Mora.
Yeah.
Again, we're gonna link that in the show notes. Kevin is big on Instagram. He's on LinkedIn as well. He's also on Twitter. We'll make sure to link all of you guys up, and Chris as well. I know you guys have music releases coming up, so
Yeah.
why don't you throw in some plugs before we finish up?
Of course, man. I'm releasing my album. It's coming up in a few weeks, Malas Lenguas. So we'll just we'll link that up too, so you guys can check it out.
All right.
Check them out. And yeah, I got a couple of records out too, man. Me and Chris got a whole EP that we're gonna be dropping. It's 5, 6, 7 songs, and they're all fresh. So stay tuned. I'm not just a sales professional. I like music too. I do music too. And we gotta get together, man, because I want to write a movie. I've always wanted to do that. And since I know you do that, we gotta get it popping, man. Stay busy.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all, this is Alex Quin, Cris Cas, Johnatthan Mora, Keven Pimentel, Hustle Inspires Hustle podcast. We'll see you guys on the next episode.
Yep. Peace.